Authorities launching a criminal investigation to find out what went wrong at the Astroworld Music Festival.
Welcome to Watch Mojo. And today we're looking at 10 live music acts that went horribly wrong.
The fire alarm goes off. It was right over my head. And as we're turning, the whole place goes black.
For this list, we'll be examining musical performances that ended in tragedy or serious accidents. Were you ever at a show where something went wrong? Tell us in the comments. Crowd Crush, Astroworld Festival. In 2021, a Travis Scott performance at an outdoor venue was the site of a tragic crowd crush.
An estimated 50,000 people at the sold-out event, the crowd pushing forward during the performance by rapper Travis Scott.
Throughout the day, there were countless issues raised by staff and attendees alike. Poor security, barricades pushed down, inadequate medical professionals, and so on. Couple this with 50,000 impatient attendees, building anticipation, and an artist known to encourage crowds to shake things up, and you have a recipe for disaster.
The schedule showed that at the time of Scott's performance, the crowd was not meant to be divided, as there were no performances on the second stage scheduled at that time.
When Scott took the stage shortly after 9 p.m., the crowd surged forward like a rapid wave.
Half hour after taking the stage, Scott paused the show for a second time as an ambulance drove through the crowd.
This resulted in the deaths of 10 concertgoers, hospitalization of 25 more, and countless other minor injuries. Rioting, Guns N' Roses / Metallica Stadium Tour. In the summer of 1992, Metallica and Guns N' Roses co-headlined a stadium tour. Guns N' Roses frontman Axl Rose was allegedly difficult from the start, partially due to health conditions. On August 8th, the tour stopped in Montreal's Olympic Stadium.
The biggest tour of its era was coming to the largest indoor venue in Canada, with the hugest egos in hard rock compacted onto one bill.
Metallica took the stage first, but were cut short by a Pyrotechnics accident that sent singer James Hetfield to the emergency room.
This is pain I've never felt in my whole life. And it won't go away.
The crowd of over 50,000 was made to wait 2.5 hours for Guns N' Roses to appear, only to have Axl Rose end the show after only 9 songs.
They played one more song, and as it ended, Axl slammed down his mic and screamed, "I'm out of here."
A reported 2,000 concertgoers then rioted in and around the stadium, overturning police vehicles, looting, and setting multiple bonfires. A reported $600,000 in damage was done. Heavy winds caused stage collapse. Indiana State Fair. At the 2011 Indiana State Fair, a crowd gathered on August 13th to see country duo Sugarland perform. Throughout the day, the National Weather Service had issued warnings of approaching severe thunderstorms.
Just minutes before the show was set to start, the crowd of 12,000 was warned bad weather was on the way and were told where to seek shelter if they wanted.
But after some discussion, fair organizers ultimately decided to let the show go on. In between the opening performance and Sugarland's appearance, strong gusts of winds caused the stage setup to collapse, killing 7 and injuring another 58.
Sugarland canceled their show Sunday at the Iowa State Fair, and when the Indiana State Fair reopens Monday, there will be a public memorial to honor all of the victims.
Later investigation revealed that the structure's concrete foundation elements were not properly adhered to the ground, causing dangerous shifting and an eventual collapse.
After 2011, the decision was made to no longer use temporary roof structures over the stage, and all concerts were moved here to the free stage.
Problematic Pyrotechnics, the Smothers Brothers Comedy Hour. In 1967, The Who appeared on the Smothers Brothers Comedy Hour and performed 2 of their hit songs. At the end of My Generation, the boys did what they often did, smashing guitars and potentially dangerous shenanigans. Unbeknownst to the rest of the band, drummer Keith Moon had bribed a crew member to put explosives in his drum kits. The explosives were placed in far greater quantities than was required. When Moon kicked over his drum, all viewers could see was a large white flash. The explosion knocked Moon backwards, singed Pete Townshend's hair, and destroyed a camera and monitor.
And it just so happened when that explosion went off, I was standing right in front of the drum, and it went off with a big bang, and I was deaf for about a month. But you know what really worried me? Is the back of my hair caught fire.
Pete Townshend's issues with hearing loss and tinnitus are said to have started with this incident. Severe storm causes stage collapse. Pukkelpop Festival. Pukkelpop is a Belgian music festival that takes place annually. In 2011, it was the site of an unfortunate tragedy when a stage collapse caused the deaths of 5 and injuries to around 140 people.
These are the remains of a stage that collapsed at the Pukkelpop Festival in Belgium, killing at least 3 people and injuring more than 70.
Shortly after American band Smith Westerns took the stage, a severe thunderstorm hit the area, with strong winds knocking down tents, lighting towers, and monitors.
Concertgoers described scenes of panic as the sky darkened, the winds got up, and rain and hailstones nearly half an inch in size pelted the crowds.
The winds, later estimated at around 106 miles per hour, caused trees to uproot and hit the base structure of a concert tent, leading to its collapse.
We were standing a little bit away from the shelter bit that was opposite the stage, and we're just dancing away, and then it caved in at the middle. 4
of the 5 victims were reported to have been struck by metal girders and scaffolding. In a morbid coincidence, this tragedy occurred just 5 days after the collapse at the Indiana State Fair mentioned previously. Overcrowding causes accidents and homicide. Altamonte Speedway Free Festival. In 1969, a terrible idea was hatched. Have a free music festival that could rival Woodstock, featuring some of the biggest musical acts.
Instead of the festival of peace and love that the organisers had envisaged, the Altamonte Free Concert ended in a rash of chaos and violence that left 4 people dead.
Acts included headliners the Rolling Stones, as well as Santana and Jefferson Airplane, among others. There are conflicting stories regarding security for the event, but in some capacity, the Hells Angels were hired to protect equipment in exchange for $500 worth of beer.
The decision to hire the Angels as security is widely regarded as one of the biggest mistakes made while planning the concert.
As with any 300,000-person crowd, things got agitated and eventually violent.
When people pushed forwards to get a better view of the unusually low stage, the Hells Angels used pool cues and other improvised implements to push them back, often violently.
Various band members were injured, at least 3 attendees died, 2 hit and runs and 1 drowning in an irrigation canal, and 1 homicide occurred. Attendee Meredith Hunter was stabbed to death by Hells Angel Alan Passaro after Hunter drew a gun in the crowd. Massive overcrowding causes death, injury, and arrest. Big Beach Boutique 2. It should be clear by now that the words free and show combined often result in overcrowding.
Tentatively raised my hand and I said, I think that we're going to have a lot more people coming than we're planning for. Don't be silly, this isn't the Beatles, it's just a DJ.
In 2002, a beachside concert was put on by DJ Fatboy Slim in Brighton, England. Expected attendance was 60,000. However, the actual number ended up somewhere around 250,000.
I've never seen so many people in my life, folks. It's unbelievable. There's more people than pebbles.
Prior to the event, authorities considered canceling, but decided against it, fearing a riot. During the performance, the rising tide caused multiple issues. A helicopter patrolled the shore, picking up unconscious fans that were swept out to sea. As a result of the crowd drug use, inebriation, and violence, 2 people died, 1 from a fall and another from cardiac arrest. 160 were injured, 11 hospitalized, and 6 arrested.
Where have the riot police gone? What's happened?
It was just mayhem.
A performer with paralysis. Live concert at Wingate Field. Curtis Mayfield was a singer-songwriter known for his contribution to soul as well as civil rights-era music. In 1990, Mayfield was slated to perform at a concert in Wingate Field, Brooklyn. Just as he was being introduced, heavy winds dislodged overhead scaffolding which fell and struck Mayfield in the back, breaking his neck.
He held on to life, only to find that he lost the use of his arms and legs.
Mayfield was permanently paralyzed from the neck down. 6 others suffered injuries from the incident, including a young girl, but Mayfield definitely took the brunt of the accident. He later recorded music while lying on the floor, as he found he could still sing when his chest and lungs were laid down flat.
I've never asked why me, and it's not about dying. It's about living again. Back to living again.
Poor judgment causes severe pyrotechnic accident. The Station nightclub. Pyrotechnics in a small space is never a good idea. The Station nightclub in West Warwick, Rhode Island had seen many bands perform, pyrotechnics and all. However, the club's walls were acoustically insulated with cheap polyurethane foam, which was against building code due to its flammability.
What distinguished this from those types of concerts?
I would say the size of the building, the construction of the building, the occupancy of the building.
Rock band Great White was performing in February of 2003 when their pyrotechnics caused the insulation surrounding the drummer's alcove to catch fire. The building was completely in flames within 6 minutes.
We started hearing a lot of yelling. All of a sudden, we started seeing flames coming out of the roof.
There were 4 possible exits, but most of the crowd of around 420 people naturally went for the front door, resulting in a crush.
You have the double doors for the main entrance. Both doors weren't open. One was always locked. That started to push everybody into one single door.
The incident took 100 lives and injured another 230 people, making it the 4th deadliest nightclub fire in American history. Before we continue, be sure to subscribe to our channel and ring the bell to get notified about our latest videos. You have the option to be notified for occasional videos or all of them. If you're on your phone, make sure you go into your settings and switch on notifications. Overcrowded nightclub catches fire and collapses. Beverly Hills Supper Club. In May of 1977, actor and singer John Davidson was performing at the Beverly Hills Supper Club. The club boasted a performance venue, the Cabaret Room, as well as numerous reception halls. A fire broke out in one of the rooms and quickly got out of control.
Small fire snaking through the ceiling. Many started to smell the smoke, but they couldn't see it. Couldn't believe they were in any real danger.
The total number of patrons in the building was around 3,000 that night, which was double the fire safety assessment of 1,500, which was just one of multiple issues that contributed to this tragedy.
As soon as the recovery operation was complete, an investigation was launched. It discovered a range of safety violations.
The exits were scarce. The building's wiring was horribly faulty. There were no firewalls, no sprinklers or audible fire alarms, and multiple other safety code violations. The incident caused 165 deaths and over 200 injuries.
They destroyed this whole town. Southgate suffered, the state of Kentucky suffered. It's never been the same.